Every now and then we meet civil service aspirants who feel that civil services toppers are those people who have superhuman abilities. And now, today, we come across Miss Shatabdi Majumdar. She has done exceptionally well in 2019 examination. She has actually scored rank 80. And in this journey, she has also seen many failures as well. Today, we will be interacting with her so that you can understand how you can actually tackle the coming prelims with ease. Welcome, Ms. Shatabdi. I hope you are doing very well. We extend a heartfelt congratulations from the entire team of Rouse IS for achieving grand success. And I would like to take this opportunity to actually inform our audience that where you come from, how did you manage your examination preparation, and what is your current status? Tell me, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. It's a matter of great honor to have me here. My name is Shatabdi, as sir has already introduced. My rank was All India Rank 80 in Civil Service 2019. This was my third attempt, and as per my age criteria, it was my last attempt technically. And my optional subject was anthropology.
Okay, ma'am. Since you have mentioned that was your last attempt, and a lot of people are very scared. You also told us that in the first two attempts you could not actually clear prelims, and the third attempt it was a run-through act for you. So, weren't you scared when you were appearing for the prelims third time?
Uh, yes, sir, certainly I was very scared. In fact, the night before prelims, I couldn't even sleep, thinking that I need to make it, or it is a kind of make or break situation for me. If I
Mhm.
don't try the prelims, the mains and the interview are anyway out of reach, out of bounds for me. Uh,
Mhm.
but the only matter of confidence was that in the first two attempts, whatever weaknesses I had, I sat back after those two failures and I introspected thoroughly and I worked extensively upon those things.
Mhm.
So I was scared. At the same time, I was a bit more confident compared to the previous two attempts.
Mhm. So actually, many of us who are preparing for the examination, when they face failures in the prelims, actually, prelims is the most competitive stage for the examination. So how did you prepare yourself for this competitive stage? And second important aspect is what changes you made in your third attempt, which actually brought success to you.
Very correctly pointed out by Sir that prelims is the most difficult stage in the UPSC cycle, and who knows it better than me? In the first two attempts, I couldn't even qualify the preliminary stage. This is also very true because every year about 5 to 6 lakh candidates take the preliminary stage, and only about 10,000 candidates qualify to be able to write the mains examination. This makes the success rate as low as 2%. So
Mhm.
you can imagine the level of competition this stage in specific has.
Mhm.
Broadly, there are two categories of people who take this stage. One category is that who have never failed in this stage. They are
Mhm.
very confident, and with even minimal preparation of 1 to 2 months, they can qualify this stage.
Mhm.
But there is a very dangerous category who are like me, who would have failed once, twice, or multiple times.
Mhm.
My suggestion is we have a good 3 to 4 months time now
Mhm.
between today and 27th June. So we can have a strategy in place if we don't have one already.
Mhm.
And if you have a strategy already, we can fine tune it so that we can maximize the score to have a safe score of about 110 plus. In my case, after the first two failures in prelims, I sat back and introspected what are the problems. My
Mhm.
problems were twofold.
Mhm.
First, the core subjects from where around 50 questions come, the
Mhm.
error margin is about 10%. So you cannot make more than five mistakes in history, polity, economy, environment, and geography.
Mhm.
I was making more number of mistakes.
Okay.
So I extensively rectified that
Mhm.
by consolidating it better, revising more number of times.
Mhm.
And second thing is, I identified that I was not taking adequate number of tests in classroom environment. I was taking tests,
Mhm.
but say in library or say at home, because I was not giving it in exam environment, what would happen on the day of exam is it would create a lot of fear, anxiety, and panic. So in the third attempt, I have written almost 100 tests in classroom environment.
Wow.
That changed from the previous two attempts.
Okay, since you have already highlighted that we are into that phase where last 3.5 months are left before the examination. So what is your suggestion for test takers this time, 2021 attempt, about how they can actually channelize their energy in last leg of this preparation so that they can ensure that they clear the examination?
The last 3-4 months are the most critical, as sir has already pointed out. My suggestion for the aspirants this year would be two to three. First is limit your resources. Do not add any more resources in the last lab.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing is focus on the core subjects. What happens is if you broadly categorize the prelims question paper, one section is on current affairs and the second section is on the core subjects. So the accuracy level of the current affairs section is naturally slightly lower compared to the core subjects. आप ज़्यादा गलती करते हो somehow in the current affairs section.
Mm-hmm.
And so the safer strategy would be minimize your mistakes in the core subjects. आप कीजिए, don't put a cap. मेरे case में I revised it around 7-8 times. You are confident before, you can stop at that count. The third thing is take adequate number of tests. Again, don't put a cap to the number of tests. Take sectional tests, take comprehensive tests, take all India level tests also. In this regard, I would say that Rouse IAS has also launched a pre-parikshan exam wherein they conduct an all India level exam and including both GS paper 1 and also CSAT. So they are also giving rankings. So that would be a good platform because हम पढ़ते रहते gauge नहीं करते, assess नहीं करते कि भीड़ में हम कहाँ खड़े हैं. So once you get those rankings, you would understand crowd में आप कहाँ खड़े.
Sure. So actually, the most important aspect is to understand how your competition is doing and how well you are doing against that competition as well. Now, in terms of actually, you have mentioned that you should limit your resources. So, what are normally recommended or suggested resources for this last phase of the examination?
Yes, sir. Now is the time wherein you have to concentrate on the point of parity. By point of parity, I mean that अगर बाकी जनता जो किताबें पढ़ रही है, आप वो नहीं पढ़ रहे हो, तो भीड़ में आप वैसे ही पीछे हो. For instance, आप modern history की बात अगर हम करते हैं, there is a book called Spectrum by Rajiv Ahir. There is another book called Shekhar Bandyopadhyay. So the Spectrum book is read by almost each and every aspirant. But Shekhar Bandyopadhyay is read by say only 1% or 2%. Say you take polity, there is a book called D.D. Basu, there is a book called Lakshmikant. Don't miss out on Lakshmikant. If you do that, you are getting into a very risky zone. By now, the aspirants would already be knowing which books to refer in case of the 5 core subjects. Let me quickly run you through my resource list. There is no time in the last 3 to 4 months to cover a lot of books. So we have to be very limited in our choice of resources and read and re-revise only those limited resources. I'll take up one by one. First of all, polity. The static part of polity, I covered it from Lakshmikant and I read it very extensively from cover to cover till the time I was confident. I read it probably 10 to 15 times. I did not make any notes out of Lakshmikant. The dynamic part of polity I covered from the newspapers, the newsletters, the monthly magazines.
Okay.
Coming to the second core subject, history, the ancient and medieval history part, I covered it from the old NCRTs, and the modern history part, I covered it from Spectrum by Rajiv Ahir.
Okay.
Coming to the third subject, economy, if you have conceptual clarity, there is no need of any textbook for economy. And the dynamic part, the current affairs part of economy, I covered it from the newspaper dailies and the monthly magazines. The next part is environment. I covered the static part from various resources from the internet, and the dynamic part I covered from newspapers and monthly magazines. Coming to geography, I covered it from GC Leong and the 4 NCRTs of class 11th and 12th.
Okay. Now, you have already highlighted some of the important core points of handling the subject. One thing that actually comes to my mind every now and then, which you should actually throw light as well, that how did you actually keep yourself motivated when you were preparing, and somehow, because of some unfortunate circumstances, you could not get success in your first and second attempt. So, what students should do to keep themselves motivated towards this goal?
UPSC cycle is not an easy exam at all.
Hmm.
Aspirants should have it clear in their mind that it might not happen in the first attempt or second attempt.
Hmm.
But it is for sure that आप जिस भी अटेम्प्ट में क्लियर करते हो, चाहे वो फिफ्थ अटेम्प्ट हो या सिक्स्थ अटेम्प्ट हो या नाइन्थ अटेम्प्ट हो,
Hmm.
once you clear, आपके पुराने सारे years के failures you will forget, and
Hmm.
people will also not remember. People will not come back and ask you कि आपने कौन से अटेम्प्ट में क्लियर किया है और पहले क्यों नहीं क्लियर किया है.
Of course, of course.
So this should be one motivating factor. And second thing is आपने अपने peer group में या आपके seniors को देखा होगा who have struggled a lot and then achieved success in the third attempt, fourth, fifth or sixth, and then how life has changed overnight.
Yes.
How they get personal satisfaction, how they derive day-to-day satisfaction from the work they are doing currently. So this is one very big motivating factor. Failures आते जाते रहते हैं, but you should always focus on the journey. You should learn new things every day from your preparation and evolve yourself.
So you have also shared your strategy in terms of focusing on core subjects, and you have highlighted that level of accuracy, especially for the current aspect, is relatively low as well. So how did you manage your current affairs? What resources did you use, and what was your approach in terms of handling the dynamic nature and continuously changing nature of the current affairs?
Current affairs, I would read the newspapers every day, the Hindu and Indian Express. And that is not enough. कई बार कुछ चीजें छूट जाती है न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ते टाइम, तो it's important that you watch any video or any newsletter who gives extensive analysis, good coverage of the news of the Hindu and Indian Express. It becomes a one-stop solution for you. तो वो करने से क्या होता है, you consolidate it better and register बेहतर होता है, you recollect facts better that way. And third thing which you can do daily is to take a few MCQs which will help you assess yourself. And finally, वो सब करने के बाद you can consolidate it through monthly magazine. So last 1 month to prelims, what you can do is you can refer to Rao's Prelims Compass, which is giving a consolidated material cut across subjects, which not only covers the current dynamic part, but also the core concepts of that subject, which is a very handy revision material in the last lap of preparation.
Of course, of course. Now, one thing that I would like to know, that a lot of people use test series to cover a lot of topics. So how did you use mock tests to prepare for the examination? You have mentioned that you have actually attempted more than 100 mock tests when you were preparing for the examination. So how did you use them in terms of defining your study plan or covering your weak areas, strong areas? What was your approach?
In the last 3 to 4 months, I believe that mock tests play a very, very significant role, particularly for people who have failed in prelims once or multiple times, or have a very big fear factor around prelims. So I would take a mock test every day in the last 3 to 4 months. And not only taking the mock test is important, what happens is in the comprehensive books and in the current affairs, सब कुछ आप नहीं cover कर पाओगे. So to widen your range of coverage, I think mock tests play a very important role. आप जब कोई question में गलती करते हो and then you go back to read the explanation, you get answers for 2-3 more questions. That way you are widening your coverage. Second thing is, while taking mock tests, be very harsh with time implementation. आपका जो preliminary exam है वो 2 घंटे का है, but वहाँ पे और भी factors play करती है, the weather, the harsh heat, उसके बाद fear, anxiety, multiple चीजें रहती है. तो I suggest कि you take the test wherever, in the library or at home or in the classroom environment, but be very harsh. आप 1.5 घंटे में वो cover कीजिए.
Yes. Now, one thing you have highlighted during this particular answer is that time management is a very important aspect, and you have worked very hard. So last 3 months, if I look into that last 3 months phase, what is the right approach to manage time, or how did you manage your time in that last 3 to 4 months?
My suggestion would be divide the 3 to 4 months into 4 parts.
Okay.
In the first month, you first cover the core subjects or the 5 pillar subjects in say 20 days. The remaining 10 days you dedicate it to current affairs consolidation. So you are done with your static part, you are done revising your current affairs of the last 12 to 18 months. Now you're left with test series. You take one test every day. That way you cover 30 tests in a month. Repeat this cycle in the second month and third month. Now you are left with say 20 days or a month for your prelims. That is the last 1 month में क्या करना है. To consolidate the entire thing 2 times. Why I am saying 2 times is because you have revised already 3 times. The revision time would drastically reduce. So to revise 2 times in the last 1 month. If you are not able to revise 2 times, revise at least once. So that is divided the last 3 to 4 months.
Of course, of course. Now, the next point I want to talk about is basically, is there any kind of tricks that we can utilize to solve the paper, or we have to be very thorough with everything that we are going to attempt? Did you use any kind of tricks or tips which you can share with the students as well, so that they can do very well in the 2021 examination?
Very rightly pointed out, sir. Knowledge का अपना limitation होता है. Knowledge is necessary, no doubt about it, but it may not be sufficient for you to cross that 110 marks. So, tricks and previous year questions play a very, very important role in your preparation. And to fetch that 10 to 15 marks margin, you need to see videos and spend a lot of time with previous year questions, how to apply those tricks in the questions. So one question, if I can recall, there was a question on Sankirtana music, which came in 2017. So the options were like cymbals are the only instruments that are used in that song, folk song. So when extreme words like only, all, and such things come, you need to understand that this is going to be a negation. You need to eliminate that option and see what you are left with. That is one trick. The second trick is, in most cases, in environment questions and in science and technology questions, which are application based, they ask you what is the application of so and so thing or so and so technology. In most cases, the correct answer is all the above. Because as a person, as a researcher, you need to understand that it is very difficult to find out if so and so thing is not an application. So most likely, all of the above will be the correct answer.
Now, one more thing, actually, which has been a challenge for a lot of students, especially in 2020, was CSAT. So what is your take on how to take CSAT? Is it going to be a challenge, or how can people prepare for examination, or just leave it and you can clear on its own without any doing much? What is your thought about it?
Sir, CSAT is a very, very ignored area that I have seen. I have also seen many aspirants and candidates have struggled with it. And many of my close friends who hail from engineering background faced a lot of difficulty. They even qualified GS paper 1, couldn't clear the CSAT paper and ultimately failed in the prelims. So don't take CSAT lightly. Giving a brief overview, CSAT has around 80 questions. Around 20-25 questions come from the English comprehension section. Remaining 50-60 questions come from quant and logical reasoning. A brief strategy would be find out which area you are comfortable in. For instance, in my case, I was very comfortable in quant, followed by logical reasoning, and the discomfort area was English comprehension.
Okay.
So I would begin my paper with quant, and I would give more time to quant, followed by logical reasoning, and last, if at all I would attempt English comprehension at last. Okay. Now, if we touch upon the 3 areas, in quant, you have some hotspots. Most of questions come from areas like number systems, mensuration, pipes and cisterns, the time, speed, and distance, and things like that. So identify those 8 to 10 key hotspots and practice not much. Maybe in the last 1 month, you can practice 1 hour every day. That will save a lot of anxiety. And coming to logical reasoning, attempt only those questions where you are not stuck, which are low hanging fruits, which are very easy and not complicated. Coming to the English section, attempt those questions wherein you have more number of questions following a passage. So that's a lot of time. Anyway, that is qualifying. So I won't say that give a lot of time, but understand if CSAT is your weakness, then give adequate time.
Now, I would talk about something which I have seen with many of the test takers, that they become fearful of the examination. They start fearing prelims. So, and especially if they have faced any kind of failures in the first or second attempt, then they become much more fearful and they are always in a state of panic. So what is your suggestion for students who are fearful of the prelims examination? What they can do right in order to cope up with this fear or allay this fear?
Sir, same thing happened with me also. First attempt, after writing my first prelims, I knew that I'm not going to clear. And so I did not even check the keys. And till date, I have not even checked the score of the first prelims. So that was the level of fear. In the second attempt, again, I checked the keys, but I thought I'll be clearing. I was in borderline, but I didn't clear. So the third attempt was a do or die situation for me. And throughout that third year, I was all filled with anxiety and panic. But then to control that fear and panic, I sat down to understand what were the reasons for fear. So I'm sure I would want to tell to all the aspirants who are facing this anxiety and fear, sit down for a day or two, understand the reasons for fear. I'm sure you would be knowing what are the reasons for your fear and anxiety. You just see and sit down and jot down what are those causes. For me, causes were two, and I identified those very objectively. First was I had a problem with the core areas. I was making more number of mistakes in that area. Second thing is I was fearful of that exam environment. Suddenly, if you transition from a library mode or a home mode to a exam hall mode, you are going to face that panic. I also faced the same thing. So you have a good command over the core subjects. Second thing is be very, very generous about taking tests, that too in classroom environment. If you sort out these two areas, I'm sure the fear will fade out.
Wonderful. So now I will actually be moving to the last part of our discussion. So what other tips that you would like to share with the people who are going to appear for the examination now? What should be their approach for next 3.5 months? And that is coming from someone like you who has done this thing somewhere at some point of time, struggled as well. So how they should manage themselves in terms of what they should do in terms of their behavioral changes, exam strategy, overall, what is your perspective?
Now is the time you sit down to understand what is that hurdle before prelims. Identify those areas very, very objectively and work upon those areas. Panic and fear is not the solution to your problems. Better you channelize your energy into identifying and resolving them. Have peer groups. You can discuss your fears and concerns with your peer groups and have them sorted out. I am sure every peer group would have a person who is very strong in prelims. So take help. Don't hesitate to take help from people. And I often, while talking to aspirants and friends, I say one thing. Imagine a pyramid with 5 layers, and the bottommost layer is knowledge. The second layer is intelligent guesswork. The third layer is effective time management. The fourth layer is your confidence and mental makeup. And the fifth layer is luck. We as aspirants often, when we fail, we blame luck as a factor. But I think we need to understand how the 4 other layers are shaping up. Rather than blaming luck, we need to find out where is the loophole among the four other factors. Knowledge, have you revised each of the core subjects adequately? In my case, I can say I have read each of the core subjects 10 to 15 times.
Okay.
So have a good grip over knowledge. If you don't have that grip, go back and revise. Second thing is intelligent guesswork. Only knowledge may not help you cross the 110 marks. So many a times you would see that you can eliminate the two options very easily, but the two that you are left with seems to be equally in weightage, but that is not so. You need to see more closely. You would understand the weightage of the two is maybe 60-40 or maybe 70-30. You just need to focus better. The third aspect is efficient time management. In the 2 hours, I would suggest that have an adequate amount of buffer time. And apart from the buffer time, divide the time slot into 3 parts and have at least 3 iteration of the entire paper. See through all the 100 questions 3 times. In the first iteration, attempt the very easy questions which you are very confident about. In the second iteration, go for those questions where you have eliminated 2 options. And in the third iteration, attempt those questions where you have eliminated 1 option. So this is how you effectively manage your time. And one very important thing is don't let the hangover of the first GS paper 1 to linger on to your CSAT paper. Sometimes you would have done quite well in your GS paper 1, but due to this hangover effect, you screw up your CSAT. Don't do that. The fourth part is confidence and mental makeup. अगर हमने 10-15 बार हर चीज पढ़ा है, करंट अफेयर्स कवर किया है, 50 मॉक टेस्ट दिया है, तो डरने की कोई बात ही नहीं है. Be confident and get a good night's sleep before your prelims. And I don't see any reason why luck will not be decided.
Wonderful. So those are the views of Ms. Shatabdi Majumdar. Now, I think that many of you are scared of the prelims examination. Your thoughts must have been clarified by this entire talk. And we believe that you will do very well if you apply the methods that she has told. Now, in that sense, you should also appear for pre-prediction tests. You should utilize the resources which are available from Rao's IAS Vertical, which can actually ensure that you will do very well in the examination. So, Shatabdi, thank you very much. I think your journey will actually motivate a lot of us in terms of doing better in examination. And what will be your parting message here?
Thank you so much, sir. I wish all the aspirants the very best for prelims. And on a concluding note, I would say that preliminary stage cannot make you an IAS or cannot make you get into services, but definitely it can prevent you from getting into services. So give adequate time and effort to this stage, because this is the most critical stage of the UPSC cycle. And have a good grip over the core subjects, revise your current affairs really thoroughly, and take adequate number of mock tests in classroom environment. These are the 3 things that you can do to control that 2 hours of anxiety. All the very best, and God bless you.
Thank you, not only from the behalf of Rao's IAS, but also on the behalf of our audience. We wish you all the very best in your career as well. And hopefully, many of our students will be motivated to join the career civil services and do much better in the examination. Thank you and all the best.